Melody, thanks for meeting me today.
Sure, no problem. I'm happy to.
Great. Yeah, my friend Bill said you gave him great advice when he was looking for a job at Capella, and he thought that this would be a great place for me to apply as well, and I completely agree. But there's some things I'm confused about, and I was wondering if you could give me some advice on it.
Yeah, sure. What's that?
Bill told me to customize my cover letter, and I'm not sure what that means exactly.
Well, Bill gave you really good advice because employers often just toss aside job application documents like resumes and cover letters that are not tailored. So it's really important that you do that. And I think that I can show you that you already have access to some great resources and tools that will help you write a really effective customized cover letter.
Great. Where do I start?
Well, let's start with what you've learned about Capella from talking to Bill.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very fast-paced, innovative environment, and it sounds like there's a lot of focus on teamwork, and I really like that. And Bill mentioned that he got recognition from his supervisor, so it seems like a great organization to work for.
Fantastic. It sounds like Bill has already given you some really good insight into Capella's culture, and that he's made some great contributions as well. I recommend then in your first paragraph that you mention that you were referred to this organization and position by Bill.
Really? That's a great idea. Yeah. So just to reiterate, so I'll definitely ask Bill for permission to put him on the cover letter. Is that all I need to write an effective cover letter?
Well, no. Let's explore some other ideas. Have you checked out Capella's website yet?
Yeah, I have. I've looked at some of the degree programs on there, and that's about it.
Well, that's certainly a start. Most organizations, including Capella, have a section of their website that's dedicated to the history, so you can get some background on what the organization is and how it came to be. Another really good thing to look at is their mission and their values, so you can get a sense of what's really important to them as an organization. You can look at the news, what's going on, what are some of the new topics that are going on in the industry and that particular company, as well as awards and recognition. And once you get that information, I don't advise copying and pasting that information into the cover letter. Instead, what you want to do is tie your knowledge of the institution into why you're really excited or interested about the organization and position. And that's really going to hold true for any organization.
Wow, that information would be great if I get called in for an interview, which I'm sure is going to happen with your help.
Now you're catching on. In addition to insight sources like Bill and visiting the website, I also recommend that you review outside resources, such as magazines, newspapers, television, and radio. In fact, I actually brought some examples to show you.
Really?
So for example, you probably heard of Reader's Digest before,
yes.
Very widely read periodical. And there's an article in here about the fabulous 5 women who are actually all learners of Capella. So it talks a little bit about their experience through going through the university, which I think would be really good information for you if you're applying for a position there. In addition, the business journals can be really valuable resources too, and if you live in a city that has them, which Minneapolis-St. Paul does, in fact, I think that you should definitely check that out. Business journals have a lot of up-to-date business information and industry information, that kind of thing that can really come in handy in your cover letter and follow-up interviews. Yeah. So for example, I brought one where Steve Schenck is actually highlighted. Hopefully you know he's our founder and previous CEO, and this gives some really good insight into Capella as an organization and our leadership there.
Thank you.
LinkedIn is another really great place to check. Hopefully you're a member of LinkedIn.
Oh, definitely.
Okay,
definitely.
Great,
Yeah.
Good. Well, it's a good place to find out information about organizations as well as the type of people that they hire. A simple Google search can really give you a lot of information too. As with anything on the internet, just be careful and mindful of your source though.
Right. Wow, those are great ideas. I can't believe I haven't thought of any of that. I've got more than enough for my 5-page cover letter.
Oh, whoa, Aaron, let's hold on. Let's do a review of how to write an effective cover letter.
Effective cover letters are concise, customized, personalized, and researched. A concise cover letter conveys your message on one page, which is typically 3 or 4 paragraphs. Since most human resources professionals and hiring managers skim your job application documents in a matter of seconds, use bullet points to highlight your relevant qualifications. The cover letter sample to the right has incorporated bullet points in the middle of the letter. I will zoom in on the section I'm referencing. As you can see, you can transition to your bulleted list of qualifications by stating something like, related to the technical support analyst role, I can bring the following to your organization. A cover letter should also be customized. Although you likely have a lot of great skills and characteristics, employers want you to edit the amount of information you share to only include the information that is relevant to the specific job, company, or industry. It is critical that you address the specific needs identified in the job posting and illustrate how you have demonstrated the knowledge, skills, and abilities in your past experiences. This ensures that you are showing the employer that you are a good fit for the position. As an example of how you can quickly show how your experience tracks to the employer's needs, I will show you how to include a side-by-side comparison. As you can see, this cover letter sample employs two bulleted lists. One side is listing the main qualifications stated in the job description, and for every qualification, the applicant provides evidence of meeting that qualification. Communicate that you have taken the application process seriously by personalizing the letter's inside address and salutation. If you absolutely can't find the name of the hiring manager, address the letter to the Positions Department or the Human Resources Department instead of using the greeting, Dear Sir or Madam. The sample cover letter illustrates the use of the hiring manager's name, as well as indicating that an associate of the hiring manager has referred the applicant to the position. This personalization will differentiate you from the other applicants who are sending out mass applications with generic documents. Finally, a cover letter should be researched. Include some of the information you know about the industry, business, agency, or school. Because most applicants skip this part or only include generic statements, you will leave a good impression by including high-quality research identified in this video. The sample cover letter to the right includes a paragraph of information that the applicant wouldn't have known if she didn't spend time gathering information about the agency from a variety of sources. Let's review. She's in touch with the industry. She is involved with her state's professional association and has noticed that the agency has been also involved in the professional development. She also happens to have a personal connection to an employee of the agency. This is yet another example of how advanced preparation will set you apart from your competition. A few final points about writing an effective cover letter. For each letter, remember to mention the title of the job in the opening paragraph, as well as how you discovered the open position. In your closing paragraph, restate your phone number and email address and invite the employer to contact you. Alternatively, you can be more assertive in your job search and indicate that you will be following up to ensure the arrival of your application materials. Now, you'll need to make sure to actually follow up, and at that time, you will be able to inquire about their decision-making timeline. You will then be able to note important dates in your job search records so that you can keep track of your status. A few formatting tips include keeping the letter to one page, using the same heading and font as your resume as to create a branded application packet, and choosing a font that is easy to read and keeping the size of that font to at least 10 points.
All right, great. Well, I'll just keep the letter to a page, and I'll be sure to save any of my notes for research for the potential interview.
Yeah, sounds like a great plan. I really hope you get an interview, and please keep me posted on how things go.
Oh, thank you.